What's up, people? What's happening? Hope you guys and girls are having a sick ass Wednesday. Welcome again to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about essentially getting leaner and weighing the same. If you are a seasoned athlete, you already know what the term for this is called. So I will be talking about that later on. But if you don't know what this is and you're not familiar with getting leaner and weighing the same or like that entire concept, then this is the episode for you. All right. So it's going to be short and sweet, right to the point. I'm not going to spend too much time, going in circles, talking about nothing. We're going to just dive right on into the meat and potatoes. If you are new to the live stream, if you're new to, how these work on the Meathead on the Mic podcast, essentially what happens is I'll be able to chat with you for a couple of minutes before the recording. As I record, though, I won't be responding to anybody. But at the end of the recording, I will be answering questions and responding to anybody. So if you have any questions along the way, still drop them down, message them, and at the end of the recording, I'll do my best to answer as many questions as I can. All right. So with that out the way, with that said, we will be starting this podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 second. Hold on. We won't even be doing that yet. I have to fix something real quick. I'm going to fix something really quick. No, not save that. As you join, let me know how your day is going, though. What's up, homie? Chris, what's good? Mr. Johnson, what's up? All right, let's see if this is it now. Okay, let's see. All right, yeah. Okay, we're good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day, and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your host, IFBB Pro Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic. Today, we will be talking about getting leaner, but not getting skinny. But before we dive in, I want to let you know that you're welcome to join the Meathead Monsters Club. It's a free Facebook community where you get the opportunity to meet other meatheads like yourself. All right, so don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast out to your IG story to show support. All right, let's dive on into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into this short and sweet, nail in the coffin. We're going to talk about what we need to talk about today. Okay. So, is it possible for you to lose fat but stay the same weight by replacing it with muscle? In a short answer, yes. But the long answer, not as fast as you think. Okay. So, what you're essentially looking to do if you want to, lose fat but not get skinny is what we call in the fitness game, body recomp. Okay. If you're a seasoned athlete or you're an athlete of any kind, you already know what this is. Okay. So this one is geared towards beginners. This one's geared towards the people that are not familiar with these terms and the people that don't know much about fitness. All right. So if you're one of these people that understand what recomp is, please, bear with me. Maybe if you have anything that's beneficial that you'd like to offer, you can throw them in the comments there and we can talk about it and expand on it. But this is geared towards, we'll say, beginners that don't know what the fuck to do and how to remold their body in a way where they're able to, put on lean muscle tissue, but not risk their physique and getting skinny and things like that. All right. So let's just break it down. What is recomp? What does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, it's like, it's like going through a precisely programmed like periodical phase in your fitness journey with the primary goal of like increasing lean muscle mass. So all you want to do is put on lean muscle mass, okay? Get rid of fat and become more efficient at doing that. That's what recomp is, right? So for example, if you're 200 pounds right now and say your body fat percentage is, I don't know, 15, maybe what you might want is to, some people even ask me this, is to be the same weight, 200 pounds, but a little bit leaner, maybe 10% body fat. And to get rid of that 5% of body fat, right? To get rid of that 5% of body fat and still, we'll say, keep that muscle and still keep that weight, it will take a couple of years. Okay. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. You won't be able to do it in a year. You won't be able to do it in 2 years, even sometimes even 3 or 4 years. Okay. But just long story short, just to bring it out there, it's possible, but not in the way that you think. Weighing the same, but looking different takes years, like years. Okay. And if your number one goal is to hit a certain number, like to weigh a certain number, you already lost. And we're going to talk about that later on. Okay. So why might you do this? Why might you recomp your body? Like, what's the point of this? Okay. So this is for people that want to get leaner but don't want to get small or skinny, which is very ironic because in order to get leaner, you kind of do have to get smaller and skinnier, right? And it's I notice it's something that's tied in with people's self-image and their, we'll say, inability to accept the fact that in order to get to where they need to go, they have to get through an uncomfortable phase where they're not going to be, you know, the most appealing, right? And you got to get through that. It's like, think of like your haircut or growing hair. Like if you've ever wanted to grow your hair out, if you've ever done it, everybody has that awkward stage where you're growing your hair and it just looks fucking weird. It's like for the, I don't know, like 4 months in, depending on your texture of your hair, it just looks weird for a certain period of time. But then after that, you can style it the way you like, and it starts to, become the hair that you like, right? And I'm using that as an example because it becomes the same with your body. You are going to have to go through phases where you're not too comfortable, you don't really like what you look like, but the ulterior motive, the goal, is much more important, and you're able to thug it out and stick it through so that you can actually get that goal. Make sense? All right. So body recomp, we know what it is, and we know that you're going to have to get uncomfortable through it, in order to, we'll say, weigh the same, but at a leaner body fat percentage. Okay, we know that. That's out the way. But how do you do this? You might be asking, how do I actually do this? How do I go from 150 pounds at 15% body fat to 150 pounds at 8% body fat? How do I do it? As I said, guys and girls, as I said in the beginning, it will take time. But how much time, you know, and like what do you need to do? It's going to vary for everybody. As I said, 2 to 3 years for some, maybe even up to 5 years for others. Depends on where you start, right? But the only thing that you really need to do, and I'm going to keep it a fucking stack, it's super simple. And if you already listened to this podcast, you know what I'm about to say. And if you know it, you can just type it down before I say it. But guys and girls, it is simple. A slight calorie deficit, probably 200 calories in a dip, and eat 1 gram per pound of protein. Do 10 to 20 minutes of cardio for 3 to 5 days a week for years, while also putting in the intention to lift heavier, to perform better, right? To have more endurance. You don't just want to be doing the same program the entire time. And when I say the same program, I'm not talking about the same lifts. Like you could do the same lifts, right? You're going to be targeting the same muscles anyway. But does your intensity change? Does your frequency increase or decrease? Like those things, those variables. You need to control those. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And when you control them, you need to stick them out for years. You're not going to get 150 pounds at a 15% body fat and 150 pounds at, say, 10% body fat to drop that much in the matter of months, in the matter of even 1 or 2 years. It's going to take a while. And with that said, I don't even want to tell you guys and girls to like look at it in the perspective of only recomping and only reaching that certain body fat percentage or that arbitrary number. Because let's face it, sometimes you could even reach that number and realize, fuck, I actually don't look the way that I thought I would look at this weight. And that's like 90% of people, which is why I always, always, always tell people to fucking ignore the number on the scale, ignore body fat percentage. And to be fair, nobody really gets them measured accurately anyway. So why the fuck, use that as a focal point, right? When you can use the best fucking tool ever, your own fucking eyes, and look in the mirror and say, hey, am I content with what I've got going on here? Do I want to keep pushing for a little bit more size? Would I mind losing a little bit more fat? Things of that sort. Okay. What you see in the mirror is ultimately what you're going to be content with, not what you see on the scale. Like it'll be satisfying especially if you're like overweight and you're coming down and you've like lost 100 pounds, to see that you are 100 pounds lighter. That's fucking amazing. But when you look in the mirror, you're going to feel different than the way you'd feel, celebrating 100 pounds off of the scale. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but I am saying that it's different. And if I really had to say it, I would say you're better off looking at the mirror for your subjective progress, like how you feel about the way you look, and you're better off looking at the scale for objective progress to see what the fuck you're actually doing, what's changing, how you're actually progressing with variables and metrics that are tangible in a sense that you can, put it in a calendar and put it in a graph and see how much progress you're making in a specific amount of time. Make sense? Again, guys and girls, it's going to depend specifically on where you're coming from in your fitness journey. If you're already skinny fat, or whatever, it's probably going to take you 2 to 3 years. But if you're overweight and obese and you want to weigh, say, I don't know, a lean, say if you're overweight but you're really short, for example. This would be a pretty weird but a good example. You're just like 5'3", 200 pounds. Body fat percentage is really high. Okay. Let's say that that's your case. And you want to be 200 pounds, but with like half the body fat. Okay. That's going to take you way fucking longer than the skinny fat dude that's, you know, essentially just building up on an upward trajectory, putting on tissue while burning fat. It's going to be easier for them and it's going to take less time. Okay. So when it comes to recomping, when it comes to like weighing the same, but looking different, weighing the same, but having a lower body fat percentage, all of that shit is probably what I would say is the last thing you should be thinking about when it comes to your fitness journey. Because this is not just a what? The fucking 8 month, 12-month, even 2 year program that you're gonna do. Like I always ask people this, like whenever they bring that up to me, I'm like, okay, that's awesome. But it's awesome you want to recomp. It's awesome you want to, drop your body fat percentage but weigh the same. But it doesn't really matter. Why? Well, like let's look at it this way, because you're focusing on a certain weight, but just being leaner, right? Why not just focus on being leaner and continuously growing tissue for the rest of your life, as opposed to just hitting that mark and just fucking off? It's like you're almost forcing yourself to plateau. Because like, what do you want after that? Say you drop your body fat percentage in half, and now you're just there chilling. What are you gonna do? Just maintain? There's nothing wrong with maintaining. You could definitely shoot for that. You can definitely aim to maintain. That's fucking cool. That's fine. But what happens when you don't fucking move forward? If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. That's just life. If you stand at the same spot right now and stay there and turn around and then look forward, whatever it is, time has passed. Time has left you. You standing there in that same position actually regressed you. So if you're aiming to hit a plateau, you're aiming to like maintain, you're aiming in a way to fail. As weird as that sounds. And as I said, there's nothing really bad with maintenance. Like I myself am maintaining. I'm an IFBB pro. As I before I get into my cut, I will be maintaining. There's a time and a place. But if your goal is to maintain, you got to reevaluate your goals. I love it when people push past their limits. I love it when people constantly create goal after goal. It doesn't have to fucking break the world. You don't have to like become an IFBB pro. You don't have to have these outlandish goals, but it's better to have something that's going to help you move forward than to have nothing that's going to keep you in the same spot. I'm going to repeat that again. It is better to have something to move you forward than something that is going to keep you in the same spot. So if you're focused on being 200 pounds but slashing your body fat 10%, really reevaluate that, because what the fuck happens once you get there? You're 200 pounds at 10% body fat instead of 20%. Now what? You're just going to fight to maintain that? And as I said, there's nothing really wrong with that. But if we are considering that this is a lifestyle and not necessarily like a trend, it's not like a fad, it's something that you're going to be committing to for the rest of your life, you've got to reevaluate your goals and not only go by numbers. The mirror will give you pretty much most of the satisfaction anyway. As I said, if we're talking about subjective progress, look in the mirror. That's what's going to make you feel like you've actually done the thing. But if you're looking at objective progress and you're looking at metrics and variables, use the scale, the tape measure and things of that sort, right? It's as simple as that. As I said, guys and girls, today's episode isn't going to be a long one. Straight to the point, nail in the coffin. Okay? Aim to maintain, and you're going backwards. That's all I have to say about that. Why not push for more progress? Why not push for more success? Especially if you've gone through all the work over the years to recomp yourself. Push for something else. It may not even have to be a body goal. Do something else, like a fucking marathon. You know what I mean? Not everything is numbers and images. Yes, I understand that it's going to help you with your confidence. Yes, I understand that it's going to, give you a better quality of life, especially for obese. But at the same fucking time, guys and girls, it's not ideal if you're looking to live a lifestyle where you're constantly progressing and you're being healthier. You're doing everything in your power to be healthier every single day. Everything in your power to be stronger every single day. Everything in your power to make sure that you're not stagnant, that you're not in that one spot. Because as I said earlier, if you're standing in one spot, you're actually going behind because time moves forward. So does everything else, right? And it's the perfect recipe for falling back into your old habits if you're not constantly setting the goalpost. So once you do achieve that recomp, once you do achieve that weight and the body fat percentage is cut down, and it's been a couple of years, think of another thing to target the same way you did previously. Okay? The weight means nothing. Exactly. All right. So that's it. That's all, guys and girls. All right. I'd focus on constantly improving so I never lose momentum. That's what I do. And I recommend you do the same. Now it's time for you to take action. I hope you like this episode. I honestly do hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today, because this one is like sort of kind of off the cuff and is really quick on my part, but I feel like I explained myself and the point really, really clearly. All right. And if you've got any questions, you can hit me up. All right. So thank you so much for your precious time and attention. Also, if you want to lose 25 pounds and become a part of the Natural Nomad Academy, shoot me a DM and I'll see if you will be a good fit. Again, I don't take on everybody. You will have to qualify for the program. P.S. I will not be monetizing this podcast because I respect your time and I don't want anything else from you but your action, your implementation, and your fucking success. So we're going to keep it free. All right. Don't forget to screenshot and share this to your Instagram stories. It will do a lot for me. It really would. And any other person that wants to learn about this, don't think about a friend, share it out to them. This is all on Spotify. This is all on Apple Podcasts. So you can hit that up over there. All right. So let's embrace your inner Meathead together. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Matt Butale signing out. Boom. All right, folks. Podcast is recorded. I'm going to be looking at some comments here. Shout out to everybody that joined. TikTok, what's happening? Adam in Edmonton, what's good? Facebook, what the fuck is up? Instagram, YouTube, what's good? Whew. All right. Shout out to everybody. Jag, what's happening? Jay, Ruben, what's good, bruh? Chris says, what do you think is a good body fat percentage that's maintainable? That's a good question. I'd say between 12 and 15% is where you look good. Like you can still have somewhat visible abs and it's fairly easy to maintain, but it's subjective. I'm saying that in mind of my own physique, but it might be different for you depending on how tall or short you are, how much muscle you have in your physique, how much fat you have on your physique, and a lot of other genetic factors. But I say 12 to 15. Typically, most people around average heights look decent. I'll say that much. What's good, bro? Hey, bro, see you there. I see you, man. I see you. Homie says not the same. 230 right now. Once I go to 185 lean, I'll probably come back to like 200 to 215. I don't know what exactly you're trying to like pinpoint there, but I do understand 1000% what you mean. So essentially, like, to wrap up the, let's say, perspective of what today's episode is about is like, say for example, you're 230 right now, and we're talking about you being 230, but like 5% less body fat. That's going to take years, right? Like, think of how many on seasons and off seasons of competing you'd have to do for that to happen in 230. And let's be honest too, like 230. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure if you're doing anything, you're taking any quote unquote supplements, wink, wink. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, you know what I'm talking about. But if you are as well, like, then those are the things you're going to have to keep into account too as well, right? Like, if you want to be 230 with a lower body fat percentage, because that would be a very heavy weight to be lean, regardless of who you are. Vanessa, what's good? I appreciate you for showing up. Garrett, thank you for showing up. Jag says, can't weigh the same ways. Weight is going to drop once you lose fat. Then you can put on lean muscle and maybe get close to the same weight. Exactly. So I like your perspective there. But at the same time, it is possible. Like, personally, I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't recommend other people do it, but it is possible. It would just take you fucking years. And technically, I do it every single time I compete. But in the sense that every time that I compete and I'm the same weight, I'm actually leaner than I was the time before. So I have more muscle at the same weight, if that makes sense. Right. But just for the general person that's not competing, that's not a professional bodybuilder or a top level national bodybuilder, anything of that sort, an athlete, it's not necessary to make that goal, to shoot that high. Right. That's 3 to 5 years of commitment off rip, as opposed to just living a lifestyle where you're going to be progressing like no matter what. And maybe one day you might cross that milestone where you reach the same weight and the body fat slashed a little bit. But is that the end? Shouldn't be, not in my opinion. But that's awesome. I like the fact that you share that with us, Jag. Zach, what's good? Antonio, what's up? What's up? I see you people. Sunjot, what's happening? Jazz, what's good, bro? Sean, Gaza, what's up? She says hi. You know what's happening. Ruby Concrete, appreciate you for joining. Mr. DeLorean, what's good? Bob, Bonner, Josh, shout out. Bonner says, if you're gaining tissue during your cut, definitely. Weight means nothing, absolutely. And see now, the gaining tissue while you're in your cut, that's like for 99% of people, that's never going to happen. Given that 99% of people aren't competitive athletes or professional athletes at that, and that will probably take some exogenous supplement to help you do that, right? Because to really just be burning fat, putting on muscle at the same time to the level where you're like really growing muscle and you're growing, you watch the scale go up in a short period of time, like in the matter of months or weeks, like, exogenous hormones have to be considered for that one there. Um, Mr. Pullen says, "Can I DM for coaching inquiries, or is there a website?" So, Mr. Pullen, you can shoot me a DM. You're more than welcome to shoot me a DM, and I'll see if I can help you out, bro. Appreciate you. Okay, Lo, what's happening? What's happening, bro? Ruben says, "How many muscle ups can you do?" That's redundant. That doesn't make that. That's not even like related to this, but just because you're my boy, I'm going to answer you. I could probably still do like 12 in a row, like 8 to 12 in a row. But yeah, that's you're so silly, dog. Armin, what's good? He says, "Could you answer my DMs after your live, sir?" I'm gonna look at them right now. Let's see. What's your name? Armin. Let's see. And yeah, Mr. Pullen, you can hit me up on the DMs, man. Shoot me a message, and I'll see if I can help you out there, bro. Let's see here. It's Armin. Let's see what you've sent here. I'm just gonna leave it open. I'm not gonna talk about what you've sent there. Um, Simply because that's confidential. That's private as shit. Mike, what is up? What's happening? Midnight Berry, what's happening? Oh wait, that's you. Is that? Yeah, it is. That's Jaylene. I can barely see the at name or the picture. But yo, salute. Thanks for joining. TikTok, what the fuck is up? I'm gonna read some comments here if there are any. Have you ever been kicked in the nuts? Okay, I'm not reading that. I'm not even gonna fucking do that. Yeah, shout out to you. Gislin, shout out to you. Felix, my bro, what's up? Adam, I appreciate the follow. What's up? Canada. We're both Canadian boys. Teaching valuable lessons as always. My guy, I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up as always, man. All right, folks. All right, folks. That is it. That's all. I will be back again tomorrow with another live stream episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. All right. So share this out to a friend, screenshot it, put it on your story, tag me. It'll really go a long way. All right. Share this out to a friend. Don't be greedy with this information. Okay. You know what time it is. Natural IFBB Pro Matt signing out. Motherfuckers, enjoy your day. Go to the gym. Touch grass. Drink water. Boom.